Shit, what was I gonna ask? I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Dragon Ball Fighters. You not interested in that?
Nah, I used to really like Tenkaichi and Budokai and
Right.
stuff and those games. I mean, I do like Street Fighter and stuff, but I don't feel like I would. I mean, I would enjoy playing it, but I always get bored of those kind of games very quick.
I mean, probably yeah, but I feel like I used to have the same opinion because I haven't bought a Street Fighter game since like Xbox 360. But I always felt like because being in the community, I can play against people within the community and shit like that. Because that's why Burning Blood was so fun for me partially, because I
Yeah,
got to play against people and shit. So I mean, with fighters, it's if Burning Blood got an upgrade like that, oh my god, it would
yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait if they do make a number two.
it
I'm
would
on
be
that. I'm not
fantastic.
a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this open world one they're making.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw more gameplay of it, and it's
I've not seen any gameplay.
it was a gameplay on somebody's channel. I think Anime Games Online, and I mean basically like it's open world. You're running around. It's very fluid. I say that it looks great, but overall, it's like I want a fighting game. That's what I want.
Yeah.
See Katakuri body people.
I just don't understand why Fighter Z is even existing. Why don't they just go back to their roots and make Budokai 5, you know?
I think with fighters, they're experimenting to see the audience that they're gonna get, how much, yeah, to see how much they can expand. Because for Dragon Ball, I don't think they had an actual legit fighting game where people can kind of hold their hat on as far as combos and shit like that. And I think that's what they're trying with this. And
So they're trying to make a competitive
exactly,
game.
exactly. And
Right.
I think they've got it because I haven't seen this many people interested in the Dragon Ball game since like the Budokai and Tenkaichi stuff. So
Yeah.
it's pretty damn fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's pretty fun
Of course, of course,
because
of course.
it's just like a throwback. It's dope though.
I'm not saying it's bad. Like I know it's a good game. I know before it was coming out, it's going to be
Yeah,
good. You can't really go wrong with a fighting game unless it's
yeah,
unfair. But the that's what I'm saying is like there's a limit other than
yeah.
online. There's a limit to how much fun I can get from them.
Nah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. I definitely got to put in some more time in it.
Burning Blood was good because of just how much deep, attention they paid
Yeah,
to
they did.
detail.
They did.
And like for example, we found like months later, I sent you that hacky video, the hacky
Yeah,
clashes. Like I remember when it happened to us like accidentally, we were like assuming that oh yeah, I guess that's just a hacky
yeah,
clash, right? But I didn't know it was like actually like an in-game feature like that. If you do stuff at the
yeah,
same time,
yeah.
your hacky goes
Like,
nuts.
yeah,
It's
they really
crazy.
did pay attention because all these characters had like really complex combos if you really
Yeah,
you took your time to learn them and practice. So
yeah,
a Burning Blood,
yeah.
people say it's just a button masher. It's not. Like it if you don't know combos, it's like and you're just button mashing, you get dominated so easily. It's not it's not even funny. So
The only I think it would have done a lot better if they didn't have those supports.
supports killed it because you can basically take someone out with sometimes one combo. So it's
Yeah,
like with the support and like a +5 buff, that is crazy. And then that kind
yeah.
of takes away from the game. But I'm shit. I love Burning Blood. Um,
It's
I,
really
I,
good.
that's one of the fighting games I played the longest ever. So
Yeah, same. I've got a lot of
a
playtime on it.
lot
It's
of
good.
playtime on Burning Blood.
One of the ones where I actually made it to the top as
That's
well.
true. I got to S was it S1 S
Yeah, that's
S
the one. That's
S1.
one.
Yeah, I never really cared about fighting games like that. But I guess because One Piece, I'm kind of entrenched there. So
Yeah.
But wait, so for the last video I uploaded, people seem to really like that video.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I don't know why I'm sounding surprised. When I was on your Discord, like
Yeah.
always, um, people coming up to me in the DMs and that, like, oh, I saw you on that Brago video, and they were assuming that it was recorded like either that
Right,
day or the
right,
day before,
exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, no, this we were talking about this ages ago. And I didn't know that. They were like, well, I enjoyed it
Yeah,
anyway, right?
yeah.
And then I get into
Oh
VC, right?
God.
And guess who comes
Is it
storming
Toddy?
in? It's Toddy. And
Oh shit, yo. That's hilarious.
and Toddy comes in, Theory, I am so disappointed in you.
Why did he say that?
He's like, you're the one nigga that I fought would respect Mama G.
Wait, first off, why does Toddy call her that?
I have no idea. It's become a meme at this point. I don't know,
But oh
right?
my god.
And he's like, I mean, you didn't say anything bad per se, but it's just like, you saying like you just didn't express yourself properly. If I were there, Braga would have got bodied and all this kind of thing.
I gotta get Toddy on one time. We gotta get Toddy on and talk to Toddy because I went in Discord.
He says he wants to get on.
Yeah, I went in Discord, yesterday, last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I should have done that. I went into the One Piece chat. Right? There's a bunch of people there. I just low key went in and I was like listening.
Yeah, strolling back, coming down from
right
to spectate the players. Right?
So then I was about to stream. Right, I was about to stream like I'm gonna use Hangouts, I'm gonna use Discord, and I'm gonna see what's popping to Discord. Go into Discord and then the One Piece chat. They're talking, and then I'm like, yo, what's good? And then they get into, yo, we have no representation in the streams. Like, we don't agree with some of the opinions. We need some representation. So I'm going to get a straw poll and put in announcements to see who's going to be the representation for the Discord.
who's the Discord,
right? Because I heard Toddy recommended Hockey, Kisei, Wing,
oh my
Loosehead.
God.
Those are some of the names that people are throwing out. Vinks. Those are some of the people are saying.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting. But then I stayed and I streamed from the Discord. In theory. Oh my God. Listen, man. I knew Discord was kind of crazy, but I should.
It's evolved, Brago.
I should have closed it down to at least like 15. Bro, it was like 50 people in that call, right? And yo, so first we start off talking about the chapter, and then I think Wing was saying that Luffy is stronger than Katakuri already. He's getting hit on purpose. I think that was Wing. Then
oh my God, yeah, Wings.
This they call him L-Man. There's Luffy. That's a Luffy, right? So he says that, but then Dan says, "Hold my beer," and then he proceeds to say, "Mihawk ran from Don Krieg."
Yeah. That's my fault. That's my fault.
I was like, hold up, bro.
That's my fault. I created that.
Yo, it deteriorated quickly, bro. Because niggas was like, wait, what? Then we had Mama Solo's Marineford. And what?
That was
Toddy. And then we had Prometheus over Aokiji. I was like,
yeah, Toddy again.
Sorry, bro, I dipped. After an hour, I was like, I'm good. I was like, I gotta plan this better, where we have actual like order and a limit to people. That's because a bunch of people were jumping in, just saying shit. I'm like, yo, man, I don't know where it's coming from. And then, bro,
well, this is the thing.
And then
go ahead.
Ty jumps in, and Ty starts defending Dan, saying Mihawk ran from Don Krieg. And then Froob jumps in, like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And then it's like all these people start jumping in, and it was just like a convoluted mess. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting, Braga. Like, listen, this is what now you know how Kaido feels. Every time he tried to like go invade some sort of territory, he just got jumped by cancerous opinions.
God. It was crazy. Like, I was like, wait, do we really think that? Like when Dan was in, because they were talking about matchups or whatever, and then when Dan referenced the Mihawk and Don Krieg, they said Mihawk saw his diamond knuckles. I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh my God.
Mihawk would die to the poison gas.
Oh
Brago.
my God, Theory, not you two.
I'm the one that started it.
I'm like, what are they doing? And then the chat. The chat was like, what the fuck? The chat was like, where is this place? Who are these guys? What's going on? And then, bro, it got to even Twitter where Roger was like, yo, me and Master J agreed that stream was toxic right now. Like, it got so bad, like, niggas was like tweeting like, yo, what the fuck is going on? But it was wild. It was wild.
That's the thing is like, whenever I come in and I always disrespect your Discord. Every time I come into like a popular stream, I always start off by saying, I'll come away from how the toxic Discord server. That's what I'm on. That is what I'm on about. It's every day. That.
Bro, but the thing is, they're in there, and I'm listening for like 5 minutes, and they're going in about Luffy and Katakuri. Like they're going in,
Uh-huh.
they're throwing points around, and all of a sudden somebody comes, they say something more crazy, and it's like, yo, they really believe this shit. But then somebody,
Yeah, they really believe
but
it, dude.
the thing is, I feel like people from the Discord, people from Discord, they're pretty knowledgeable, right? Because it's like when you talk about
Uh,
what I
yes
mean,
and
it's like they
no.
talk about it so much that they have to go and fact check, right? So they go back, they look at
That's
it, but
right.
then they take the literal meaning and remove context. So then
Uh-huh. That's right. That's what
when you
always
remove
happens.
context of yeah, I guess you can say you're right, but when you remove context, it's like it's a completely different meaning. So you're
Brago, we were literally talking. Like I was talking with Milo, a bunch of people, Cola. There was a bunch of people,
yeah,
right? And they were arguing with Hidden Haki about whether Luffy ran out of the mirror world,
yeah.
right? Whether it was a runaway or whether it was like a tactical retreat, some sort of semantic
Oh
argument.
God,
Okay?
that's what Dan was
And
saying
obviously,
too.
I don't like how people fanboy over cool looking characters, and so I'll take them down a
Right.
notch. So I was using their current logic to do the opposite. I was saying, well, if that's the case, Katakuri ran away first when he went to it for his merienda. He ran away from
Right.
Luffy, right? And they're like, what? How can you say such a thing? Blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Right? But then I asked them, well, you're ignoring the context. Luffy is the one with the upper hand right now. The Katakuri said, you need to get me off this ship if you want to win." Guess what Luffy does? He grabs him and throws him into the mirror
Yeah.
world. He's at Luffy's mercy. And they were like, what? What do you mean? Blah,
Mm.
blah, blah. I was like, well, you're ignoring the context. So I slowed them down and said, guys, listen, I'm going to ask you carefully, right? Is context important? And they like unanimously went, no. And I said, do you need the bigger picture to talk about this
Yeah.
argument? And they went, no. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going
Yeah.
to leave because I'm clearly not
You
needed here.
absolutely need context because you can take so much shit out. Like you can misconstrue it and just determine like different facts based on like just what's said in a manga when you remove shit that's happened
Yeah,
before and shit that happens
yeah,
after. Like that shit is so
yeah.
important. Like we talk about like the Jozu Doflamingo thing, where it's like, oh shit,
Uh-huh,
Doflamingo parasited Jozu. Then it's like we don't talk about what happened after. Immediately like Doflamingo must be stronger than Jozu. It's like, oh,
uh-huh,
it's not that. That's not the case. Then he had Mihawk and Luffy. And so, oh, Luffy got away from Mihawk. Okay, Mihawk stands
uh-huh.
no chance against Luffy, but we know that Mihawk, or Mihawk and Vista, right? I know that's an argument that happens a lot,
Oh, that's a famous
where
one,
it's
yeah.
like, well, Vista may be as strong as Mihawk. I see people that I think Ty thinks Vista could be stronger. I don't know, but
Well, Vistas are just a very like this is a very good chess piece to use to crush Mihawk. Do you know what I mean?
I understand. I understand the arguments, but I mean, I feel it's a bit of we.
It's just to be
Yes,
annoying. Everyone knows Mihawk's the best swordsman,
exactly.
but to be annoying and troll the
Yes,
character, you can say, well, he couldn't get past Vista.
exactly. You're using that when it's like, well, this Mihawk was more worried about Luffy whilst fighting Vista at the same time. So it's like,
I mean, not entirely true, but we're not going to get into
what do you
that.
think about that?
Well, at the very start, when they're rattling their blades together, like when you look at it
Yeah,
carefully, yes, he looks away at Luffy and describes his power. But then I sat down and gave everyone all the powers. For a whole 2 chapters, we cut away to Sentomara and the
right.
Pacifistas, Boa,
Mm-hmm.
Smoker, Kizaru. We cut away to loads of people for 2 whole chapters,
Yeah,
right? And then we cut back and they're actually going at it, Vista and Mihawk. They're actually going at it. And they've been going at it for 2 chapters.
two
So to
chapters.
say that he was focused on Luffy the entire time
Well,
is
two
not true.
chapters. That could be misleading based on like we don't know the time passed, even within 2 chapters.
I know,
Yeah,
of course, but I'm saying based on like when you look at what's actually going on panel per panel, if you're gonna say all's happening at the same time, fine,
yeah,
but you'd have to prove
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's the tough part. Where it's like, yeah, you definitely could use that argument, but that all goes back to, do you really think Vista can beat Mihawk?
I don't
Yeah.
think he can beat. I don't think he can beat him. But the fact that Mihawk couldn't get past him gives him so much credit that people don't like to acknowledge.
Well, we had Mihawk and Crocodile as well. We had, it was like different scenarios in Marineford, which is you can use for power scaling, but you kind of it kind of goes to a toxic argument because people start pulling
Uh
from
huh.
different things and saying, hey, this
Uh huh.
happened, where nothing is really
Uh huh.
conclusive. So then it's just worthless like time wasting for the most part.
Well, that's the thing. I guess because you're not there all the
Yeah.
time. But what's happened is the Discord has become, well, it used to for maybe like around June and that. Myself and Chatty and stuff were going on this massive Mihawk rampage where we were just making him like the worst character in the
Yeah.
series, right? And then a lot of people started to go, oh, you know what? When you look at it that way, you're right. And it was like, oh my God, is it that
Wow.
easy? You know, is it that easy to just like kind of skew
Groupthink.
evidence and change people's
Groupthink.
opinions?
That's all. Groupthink. Where it's like the more people that say it,
Yeah,
the more it starts. They start believing it. Like the fact that like everyone hates Luffy. I don't think nobody
yeah.
hates Luffy. Luffy's the main character. You know, he's one of the
Hmm.
reasons why we enjoy One Piece.
Uh-huh.
But I do feel like
You couldn't have got this far if you didn't
yeah,
like him.
yeah, 100%. But I feel like we do have to kind of remove those blinders from time to time and criticize what's happening.
Hmm.
Whether it's
Uh-huh.
something going on with Luffy or the story, we have to kind of
Uh-huh.
like, okay, based on what we know so far, how does this make sense to us? And of course, it's your own
Uh-huh.
interpretation. And of course, through discussion, you can bend here, bend there, and change your mind.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like we should just use groupthink and say, okay, because this person feels this way, or because a section of the community feels this way, this is what's happening. But
Yeah. That's not
yeah,
true. I try my best not to be like
yeah.
that. But what's also happened is, and I've made it clear to everyone in your server. A lot of people give me more credit than is needed. All I'm doing is going back, reading what I need to read, and telling you what happened. But people seem to use my voice as like sort of as like a evidence sometimes. For example, people will be arguing for hours, right? And then I'll come in and say, "What's going on?" And they'll go, "Okay, so this is happening." And then I'll say a point that someone, whatever
Yeah.
team, has already said, and then the other person will immediately go, "Oh, okay." And it's like, well, that guy already said it. Why is me saying it any
But
different?
theory, you know that um, in debate and through countless debates, the more validity you bring to arguments, the more stock people put into what you say, right? So
Right.
if in various arguments you're bringing up points and people go and fact check, they're like, oh well, he's correct here, he was correct there. At some point, it builds your credibility. So when you
Right.
start,
But I don't agree with that mentality, man.
I I don't know. So you're saying that credibility is not
Not for a fictional discussion. Like, you know, all I need is for everyone to have read the same things that I've read. And then if anyone says something that is correct, then the other person has to bend the knee and go, okay,
so you're
then
saying it shouldn't
fine.
matter who the
It,
person is.
no, as long as they say a fact, then they,
Well,
you know,
that's
just you know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is with One Piece, it's such a long story, right? Where it's like you don't remember every single thing. It's tough
No,
to
of
do
course
that.
not.
So if you're debating someone for the first time, right? And then they say something like, what's his name? Doc Q. He could have
Yeah.
taken out Luffy at Jaya, right?
Uh-huh.
Like he almost killed. Let's say
Uh-huh.
Doc Q almost killed Luffy at Jaya, and
Uh-huh.
then
With the apples.
right, right. But then you don't remember exactly what happened with like the whole Apple thing. So you're like, wait, what? You're like, wait, what are you talking about? And it's like,
Yeah, what are you talking about?
exactly. But it's like if it's someone credible, and then you're like, oh well, Doc, you could have done this in Jaya. You're like, okay, we've had this argument before. I believe it's like your credibility is something I can bank on or depend on. Where someone brand new, I would go fact check it for myself instead of just believing what they say. So it's like I think it's built
Mm.
over time. But I do agree where it's like if I say something or if somebody that you don't know a lot about or whatever says something, um, not necessarily don't challenge it, then somebody else comes in and because they are known, you're like, okay, we're not gonna challenge him because he must know what he's talking about. I think you should definitely
I don't like
always
that
challenge
though.
him.
Just you know, you know, it's like why if you're gonna just buckle because someone like you said who quote unquote is credible, why were you arguing in the first place?
I get it. I think it's built over time because, like, say it's the first time you're arguing with Joy Boy. Joy Boy is credible, I guess, in the One Piece community, right? But if
Maybe.
it's your first debate, you're still gonna challenge him because
Uh-huh.
you're like okay because I know a lot of people from Discord they do this to people that's on streams or YouTubers. They're like, I want to see if you're really worth your subscribers, right? Because
Uh-huh.
they're like, yeah, you can make videos, whatever, but it's like, do you really know what you're talking about? And I feel like Grim does this. I feel like Grim does this a lot where Grim he gets in the call with someone who has that has a lot of subscribers. Then he's like, okay, um, Doflamingo versus Cracker, who you got? and he waits to see what they say, so then he can attack their
Yeah.
points based on so to see if they're worth their bounty, I guess. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
It's frustrating. I don't like that either.
Why you don't like that?
Because why are you attacking so like the way I'm always talking, it always is this way, and the people don't really get it. It's all the time. I'm just talking from what's in the
Right.
story. I'm trying my very obviously I'm not a
Yeah.
robot, so I can't do it 100%. But I'm trying my very best to be as objective as
Right.
possible. You know, like it would be very rare if I throw in my like opinions, and if I do, I'll say I think. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It is tough to debate some of these things if like you have characters that you're invested in, and it sometimes sways your argument, even if you're not really you don't really notice it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I really wanted to, I could turn Mihawk into like the kind of because a lot of people just use his title to make him into a god, right? If I wanted to use actual character stuff, I could. I'm not going to give people that fuel.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like you have to use context. You can't take things too literal because then it skews every argument. It does. Um, this recent chapter though,
Yes,
I after at the end of the chapter, I didn't know how to feel exactly. I felt
I know you wouldn't. I skipped to
yeah,
that specific part to see how you
yeah.
reacted.
So
Um,
I'm
go
like,
on.
okay, I feel good about the chapter because it was a progressive chapter. The
Uh-huh.
story moved forward, but it
Yeah.
had a bunch of things that happened where I'm like, okay, was this necessary?
Give me a list of five.
So first, the Big Mom stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And Toddy kind of echoed those last night. Where did we need to extend Big Mom chasing the ships again? So 'cause that's been extended. Where I guess they're splitting up the troops.
Of course we do. Of
Why you
course.
say that?
Because if we don't extend the chase, we die.
Do we? Why? So Big Mom
100%.
chasing the cake. Why do we die?
You know what I mean? Okay, what you wanted to just destroy Capone instantly?
Do you think she would destroy Capone instantly if the cake? So you're saying they have to separate the cake from the ship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's like that. What happened in this chapter where they split
Mm-hmm.
up? That's so that we can continue without any worries of a Yonko
Right.
destroying us. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
But is that what you're on about
what
with
I'm
the
saying,
chase?
is like, okay, they can split up, but it seems like they're it's gonna go to the point where they're gonna go to an actual island. So that's
Yeah,
probably gonna be dragged out to probably 2, 3 chapters or so before Big Mom actually gets the
yeah,
cake.
yeah.
Secondly, Sanji, right? And this is kind of a
Uh-huh.
personal thing. Where Sanji, um, who's going after Sanji right now? Smoothie and her sisters, Cinnamon and Citron.
That's right.
What does that mean for Sanji?
It means that someone's gonna have to
He's
come help.
useless, right?
Yeah.
And then that's feeding into the narrative again of like combat wise, it seems like Sanji is not useful, or Oda doesn't seem like he wants to use Sanji in that manner this arc. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. This was to build his chef stuff.
But I feel like it's a balance, right? Because we know Sanji's an excellent cook, an excellent chef. Like that's
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm not sure how many chefs we know in the series so far, but Sanji's an excellent chef. Do we really need that much growth as far as his cooking in comparison to
We need
his
to know what
combat
his
ability?
we need to know what his time skip stuff is for. Do you know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
his 99
Right,
recipes
right,
stuff.
right. So like we need that, but do you think combat wise we've seen his development post time skip?
Yeah, yeah. We've seen Hell's
Mm-hmm.
Memories. We've seen a bunch of things. We've seen you got Haki now.
We
Blah blah
haven't seen
blah.
like
But obviously,
a
go
condensed
on.
version of Armin per se.
Well, why do we have to?
Why not? We've seen it from everybody else pretty much.
Well, no, we don't. Why would he need to do that?
Why not? Because it's like we've seen it from Zoro, seen it from Luffy. Why we seen Zoro
Yeah,
use
but can Zoro feel other people's emotions? Why can't Zoro feel other people's emotions? His observation Haki must be
what
trash.
emotions? What do you mean?
You know, Sanji can feel emotions, Fuji can feel emotions, or Hime can feel emotions. Kobe can't with observation Haki.
When does Sanji feel emotion?
He can hear like the women crying and stuff from a great distance.
Oh, are you talking? um, I don't. With that, I guess that's observation hockey, but I thought that was kind of like partially a gag as well because of Sanji being the chivalrous guy that he is. but
Uh-huh.
I guess we can say so. Um, I mean, Zoro did use observation hockey to kind of sense Pika, I suppose. Not on the same level.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
has it. But I'm saying is like you're saying, well, if these guys have shown armament haki when Luffy is proficient in all of them,
Yeah.
Zoro is proficient in two, or you know what I mean. But why would Sanji have to show the armament, the black armament, when he's showing off other observation skills that Zoro does not have?
The thing is, the observation. Well, I guess he had the Katakuri stuff where he dodged that, but the observation skills that Sanji has shown off, I feel like they've been okay. They've been cool. Um, we know that that's Sanji's specialty, right? That should be his
Yeah,
specialty. Um, and I always thought that for the Straw Hats, Luffy would be, obviously good at everything, but for armament, Zoro would be on Luffy's level or close to that. In that case, then Sanji's be on Luffy's level as far as observation is concerned. Um, in this instance, Luffy is like completely separating himself.
yeah, and he will again next arc as well.
But so, how far do you think Luffy's gonna be from the monster trio?
I don't know. It really depends on what Oda wants to do, because if he wants to make him parallel the other Yonko
Yeah.
crews, he wants to make Luffy the same as them, then Luffy will be like a Yonko to a right hand, and that's a big gap,
But
right?
okay, so
But if he doesn't want to do that, and he wants to make Zoro the exception, then Zoro will be up there, but he won't be Luffy level anymore.
okay. I mean, the thing with Rayleigh, because Rayleigh's discussed a lot.
He's not a pirate. He's not Pirate King level.
He's Yonko level. Hmm.
Perhaps.
But then we know like Yonko level. Do you think is a huge separation between Yonko level and Pirate King level? I don't think so.
I don't think there's a separation at all.
So then Rayleigh and Roger was pretty much on the same level then.
I don't think that really was on his level, no.
So what do you think Rayleigh was? Because we're saying Rayleigh's Yonko level, right? We Rayleigh can.
Uh-huh.
So he is.
I think it's a borderline. Like I don't think Prime really could fight the current Yonko and win.
So I agree there, where I think Shanks is pretty much what Rayleigh is, but he's a bit stronger than Rayleigh. That's my assessment of
Do
these
you know what I
guys.
mean? Isn't it crazy to have, for example, we get a look at the Pirate King's crew, and he Roger
Pirate King.
himself, and then you have Rayleigh,
If he's
right?
Yonko level, that's crazy.
There's you've got two
Yeah.
dudes. No, but the thing is to assume that he could, like, let's say Rayleigh in against all the current Yonko of this generation, he's to win because he's Yonko level Rayleigh. He's to win Prime Rayleigh. That's two dudes that can beat the best pirates in the
No.
verse on the same crew.
Yeah. That goes back to I guess the competition back then and Whitebeard's right hand, Big Mom's right hand, all that. Like, how were they competing with these guys when these guys are somewhat legendary? And now we have
Yeah.
Katakuri, right?
Yeah.
And I think I guess how we felt about characters or commanders before this arc. Do you feel like that's shifting?
Oh, definitely. It shifted a while ago.
Right.
While ago. Like I said, and you probably, you never liked it when I was saying this because Taekwon kind of
He
he messed it
amplified
up
it.
a bit. But like I was always saying that Katakuri is a disappointment. He'll continue to be so until Oda makes it not like that. And Oda has not made it like that, so he's still a
So
disappointment.
when I go to that, I think about like I guess with Katakuri, um he has the tools, he has the arsenal,
Of course.
but the
Yes.
reason why he hasn't shown out is because of how Oda's been writing the story, and he can't. It's like the Straw Hats; they have to get out of it, right?
No.
You don't think they have to get out of it?
No, they don't.
Explain that.
There's so many ways to write a story, you know. But Oda is obviously not that type of guy to write it the way I would write it with tragedy and stuff like
Correct.
that. He doesn't do it, right?
We have to take into
However,
consideration
just
the scope of
because,
that. It's a shonen, and
of course, but that's what I'm saying is even though that is the
Mhm.
case with tropes and this
Right.
and that, it doesn't mean that what's happening inside of the verse isn't happening. What is happening right now, if we were to just magically teleport in and through Pace's example, it's like if we were there, and we were sat there with popcorn watching what's going on like
Mhm.
flambe, Katakuri is literally not doing good against Luffy right now.
Well, not doing good based on our.
Okay, fine. He's beating Luffy, fine. But in terms of what he should have been doing to someone of Luffy's caliber compared to
Yeah.
himself, is not. This is not the scope of what we was to
Agreed.
expect.
I feel like it's based on the expectations that we had for Katakuri and the Commanders. Um,
But if I'm to make an
mm,
excuse for Oda and Katakuri, is Oda, because this arc isn't
it's
over.
not.
If this arc finishes and what I'm thinking turns out to be true, then I'll understand why what happened has happened, and I'll tell you what I'm on about. When it comes to Cat, it seems like Oda has presented a character or a theme, which is this arc is full of deception. Everyone keeps on saying that,
Yes.
right? That Oda has played on the theme of um mispresentation. So everyone, like you said, has assumed that this is Katakuri, the billion whatever man with the crazy fruit and the crazy hacking. And everyone in the One Piece world, not us, the audience, everyone in the One Piece world has been fed this kind of info too. In the news, what they hear about him, what all the children have been raised to
Yeah,
believe
Cat.
about him,
Cat is
everything.
legendary.
Right? Wait, but is he? That's the point.
Uh,
That
Wait, are you
like
questioning the
is it
credibility of
something?
what he's accomplished?
Wait, that's what I'm getting at, right? When it comes to it, us, the audience, have not seen anything of his past to prove that what is being said about him is truly credible.
Hmm.
The way Katakuri behaves implies that it's true,
Do you only think
right?
Bounty also
How
confirms that?
no,
Why not?
because you can get bounty for all sorts of reasons.
Correct, but after what 400, your bounty doesn't go up that much.
But you know what I mean? Like for example, if you know how Cracker's bounty clearly another one, a deception. Cracker himself is far stronger than what his bounty shows, because his bounty only depicts one biscuit soldier, meaning that against the Marine or anyone that was able to even give him a
They saw
bounty,
that one.
he
Yeah,
never showed his
right.
true. Yeah, they never showed his true
Yes.
strength. It's the same with Katakuri. It could be the very opposite, where all the stuff they hear about him, or stuff where let's say Flambe's fan club follow him around. Let's say there's an opportunity for him to fail, right? And Flambe intervenes like she did in this chapter, right? Of course he's going to start getting bounties if he starts winning all the time due to intervention.
So you're saying, based on what's been happening this arc, that Katakuri
Yeah,
and his bounty could be fake news.
it could be fake news.
That's fair. That's fair. And I understand your point. However, I don't agree.
That's fine. I don't agree with myself either. I'm just presenting
I
it.
I hear you. So with Katakuri, what we've seen in this arc, Katakuri is clearly very skilled, right? Um,
Oh yeah, super skilled.
and I think the respect he's garnered from his family, some of it is hearsay, and um,
Not from his own mum though.
what do you mean by that?
She doesn't respect him.
Who does she respect?
She doesn't respect anyone but
Yeah,
herself
so
and
that's the thing
Pudding.
where it's like the Pudding, the respect that's like loose because of what the reason why she respects Pudding because of how she can use
Yeah, yeah,
Pudding.
of course. It's
Yeah,
corrupted.
but with Big Mom, I feel like she does respect anyone. So, but with Katakuri, um, I think based on skill, the portrayal of Katakuri in comparison to Luffy, they seem to be similar, somewhat as far as I guess ideals, as far as protection and family. Katakuri cares about his siblings somewhat. Um,
So do all of them. So does Peros.
right. As far as how they view, I guess like with Katakuri, he doesn't want to fall on his back. He's pretty much perfect. Where Luffy is the epitome of you fall down and you get back up.
Yeah, yes. It's the cliche of
Yeah,
like, why do you
yeah,
stand? So I can beat
e-
you. Ah, that's
exactly.
shameful.
So
You know?
there are parallels there, and I feel like that's pretty much what Oda is hanging his hat on with the
No
Katakuri
matter
thing.
how many times I get pushed down, I will
Yeah,
defeat you. And then Katakuri's like, oh, if I get pushed down once, I'm gonna give
but
up.
exactly. But the Katakuri with this fight, we all know this fight should be over based on the arsenal that they have. But then Luffy's haki, that's the caveat here, right? Where Oda introduced this because I went back and I rewatched Luffy versus Doflamingo, and I was seeing how Doflamingo was handling Luffy pre-Gear Fourth, during Gear Fourth, and after the break.
Doflamingo is a reread hero. He's turning out to be incredibly impressive.
Doflamingo was laughing at Luffy for most of the fight, laughing at him
Yeah,
because he felt
yeah.
like you're nowhere near my level in base form, right? He's like, yo, this is
Yeah.
child's play. What are you doing? Even with Law there,
Uh-huh.
he was laughing at them. Gear Fourth, he even laughed at Gear Fourth. It's like, oh wow, you've certainly grown, right? Got blitzed, awakening, leveled the playing field. Then Luffy ran out of it. Then even after the fact,
Mm-hmm.
Luffy, King Kong gun. Then it's over. But
Uh-huh.
in terms of Luffy versus Katakuri, it was some of that, but it seems like Luffy is growing at an exponential rate versus Katakuri to kind of catch up. Where even in the
No,
Doflamingo versus Luffy fight, we had a really
I
flashback.
don't
You
agree.
don't think Luffy's growing versus Katakuri?
His observation hacky is, but nothing else.
Okay, so the clashes, right?
Yeah.
Early in the arc, Luffy and Katakuri fought, and they had when Luffy used the elephant gun,
Uh-huh.
Katakuri pretty much used mammoth gun versus Luffy,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And pretty
Uh-huh.
much owned him there.
Uh-huh.
Recently, I think 2 chapters ago, they had a similar clash. This time,
Uh-huh.
Katakuri was using uh, donuts,
A donut. Uh-huh.
and it was
Where's the evidence that one donut is better than that mammoth gun?
that's a good point. That's a good point. The thing is, it's implied based on what Katakuri brought that out versus Gear Fourth. He didn't.
No. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is, for example, right? We're in that scene. What Katakuri was trying to show Luffy is that all the skills that you've developed through your short 2 years as a pirate, they're simple tricks. I can copy them, and not only can I copy them, I can make them
So
better,
do you think his
right?
elephant mammoth gun is better than his block mochi?
Yeah, it's just not his arsenal. He just stole it for a temporary amount of time. He's saying, if I'm to use my stuff, this is what look what I can do. I can create infinite donuts that can kick your ass.
A theory. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that because using a bigger form of Luffy's attack is better than his own I guess attack that's been honed to almost perfection. You think
No,
how is that how is
no,
that wait, how does that make sense though? So you're saying
it makes perfect sense.
right? You're saying
He's a mochi man, not a rubber man.
okay.
Right, I'm
No,
saying
so you're
the
saying
way
he
he personally fights is very
using
different.
Luffy's attack that's stronger than donuts.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand that.
Like, for example, Luffy's current gear 3 is the equivalent to one donut. But that mammoth gun was stronger than that gear 3. So by the same logic, until proven otherwise, it's stronger than one donut.
So Katakuri has the ability to use something stronger than donuts, you're saying.
If he wanted to,
Why wouldn't
yeah.
he use
It's
that?
just same with the trident, same with all sorts of things. Why isn't he doing that Gatling gun he did at the
I feel like that's
start? Why isn't he
taking a
doing
step
that?
saying why isn't he using donut seems to be his I guess one of his best attacks based on based
No,
on with Gear Fourth, which was seemingly it blitzed him for a bit, and that's what he used to get out of it to kind of overpower Gear Fourth. Why would he not use something
no,
stronger?
that's not what
What
happened.
happened?
In the fight, Luffy finally triggered
Yes.
him and found out, oh, this is your secret, your observation hacky, blah blah blah. Kicked him in base form,
When
in
he
there with
attacked,
their own
right?
combat ability,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then he's like, I got you. I figured it out. I used to think you're invincible, but actually, the one good thing about you, it's not your strength, it's not your fruit, it's not your armament, it's just your observation hacky. Without that, I can kick your ass with gear 4. He goes gear 4. He says, even that strong armament hacky defense that you used on me earlier is useless against this form. Starts beating him up, yeah? Then Katakuri calms himself down, and the observation hacky comes
Mm-hmm.
back. Luffy's doing the Kong organ, and his arm gets stuck
Yep.
in Katakuri's
Mm-hmm.
body. Yeah? And as it's stuck, that gives Katakuri the opportunity to create his
Mm-hmm.
donuts and hit Luffy for the first time with the
Mm-hmm.
donut. Yeah? Sends him
Yep.
flying. Great. Well done, Katakuri. You hit gear 4, but he was stuck for a time, so fine.
That kind of pummeled Gear
Then when
Four.
they're actually but then when they actually start fighting in the next chapter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Luffy goes in for a Kong gun, and as Katakuri later explains in a future chapter, so maybe 2 chapters from where we are
Yeah.
right now, he says he's only been attacking his like because he can see the future, he's attacking the parts of the body which end up making the Luffy's attacks weaker.
He was
So
using
for example,
misdirection with the donuts.
no. So what I'm saying is like, you know when he said, "I'm attacking your shoulder, so your hit is worse, and I'm attacking your knee, so your other hit's
Yeah,
worse."
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? You know that? Yeah. He did that against Gear 4 too. When you look at
Right.
the
I remember
panels,
that.
Luffy goes
Yeah.
in for a
He
Kongan and he hits it
yes,
off. And as he hits it off, he goes in for a
yes,
swing, and Luffy dodges it. But then he creates a third
and pump.
donut,
Yeah,
which hits Luffy
right in
one
the
more
chest. Yeah.
time. But there's no evidence that any of those techniques are stronger than the Mammoth Gun.
Theory. Okay, so you're saying that these attacks that Katakuri used to turn the tide on Gear Fourth to kind of overwhelm him, because he's
Hmm.
seen that this is his tactical way of breaking down an enemy, right? You're
Uh-huh.
saying that Gear Third, his version of Gear Third is stronger than his block mochi based on that. So,
Yeah,
so
because for example, it's less efficient. It's less. Katakuri's whole purpose is to be an efficient wall that you can't get past. He's
but,
not
but the
there to
thing,
just
but it's
crush you
not
in
just
one
that
go.
it's less efficient; it's more condensed, right?
No. But for example, when he does his in his basic mode,
Right?
right, the block mochi on his
Mm-hmm.
arms, okay, and Luffy hits it and hurts his own hand. That is clearly weaker than Gear 3 and stuff like that. If Luffy did Gear 3 to Katakuri when he's doing that block mochi punch, that would have been stronger. But then he brings out the donuts,
Why
which
you
is
say it's
stronger than.
clearly weaker?
Okay. If I'm not talking about the donuts, I'm talking about Katakuri's main body.
Right? When you use block mochi, you said that.
Yeah, when he starts that, you're saying that that would defeat an elephant gun.
Yes.
No, no,
What?
Brago. That's why we're not understanding each other.
Why do you say
No.
that?
Where's your evidence?
Based on block mochi pretty much overwhelming Luffy's regular hockey body, and Gear Third, that's the next step with that. So,
No, no. The hacky thing is just
uh-huh.
hacky. Luffy's hacky at that point is weaker than the Buso Bugyu, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we find from the Amazon Lily sisters, Marigold and Sandersonia, even if you have armament and another person doesn't have armament, you can overpower them physically. If you're super strong, you can still overpower them despite their armor and haki
Right.
defense. That's what happened with Luffy's Gear 4, is Katakuri was blocking with Block Mochi, and Gear 4's haki is the same as the ordinary haki, but Gear 4 is stronger than base form Luffy, so it worked.
Well, I think it was a combination of strength and momentum. Go ahead.
Yeah, but same
Mm-hmm.
deal. Gear Third has that same properties behind it, strength and momentum. It would overcome the basic block mochi, the Katakuri's using on his hands. It'd overcome it.
So you're saying with Gear Third, but I don't know about that because Gear Fourth, he kind of launches himself with Gear Fourth. He doesn't have that momentum with
Yeah,
Gear Third, so he doesn't have nearly the power behind
fine,
it. So that's what I'm saying with like
right?
Gear Fourth. So from from Luffy's regular to Gear Third, I would say it's like let's use multipliers. It's like
I think people have this misconception. Sorry, that like Gear Fourth is overwhelmingly more one Kongan is overwhelmingly more powerful than Gear Three. That's not
no,
true.
but if we use multipliers, right? Let's look at it. So for Gear Luffy's regular armament in base to Gear Third, I would say if
Right.
using
Uh-huh.
multipliers, it's like a times one, right? Or
No,
I'm just saying. No,
it's
no,
the
no, no,
same. It's the same amount of
I'm
haki.
saying it's times one, right? I'm just using. That's what I'm saying. Times one.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's the
Yeah.
same, right? Sorry.
So with Gear Fourth, when he goes Gear Fourth, because
Mhm.
of how condensed it is, and if we factor in Luffy basically having a rocket launcher for legs, right? For
Mhm.
momentum, I would say that's like a times two. So in pretty much, you don't
No,
think so?
because the haki is the same.
No, but I'm saying I'm factoring in momentum as well. But the thing is, you're saying
But
you're saying the
it
hockey
doesn't
is
change the it doesn't
you're
change the
saying the hockey's
haki
the same, but then why is he running out of hockey in Gear Fourth?
because he has to use it to
He's using
maintain that
more of it,
form.
right?
No, he's keeping more of it on him at all times. It's always
But I'm saying
on.
he's using more of it. But that's what I'm saying. It's like hockey.
Yeah.
Before that, we didn't know that hockey has a pool that you can draw from, and it can run
Uh huh.
out. So
Uh
Luffy
huh.
essentially in Gear Fourth, he's using more from that pool to maintain that.
No.
No,
It's like he's when he's in Gear 4, to even when he doesn't have
yeah,
haki, he cannot be in anything that even resembles Gear
right.
4. He can't do it. Whereas with Gear 3 and Gear 2, that's part of his rubber body. He can maintain that just as him. The Haki holds his structure together. I think that's why it's running out. He's using so much to just hold it together.
Yeah, I think that this goes back to what I'm saying. It's like he's just pulling more from a pool. Where it's like he's using more of it
But what's that got to do with his punches?
because he's using more of it. With gear seconding, with
No,
gear,
not in the punches, just to hold the form together.
so you're saying that gear fourth is essentially the same thing as gear third, strength wise?
No, it's stronger than Gear 3, but not because of the Haki.
Why is it stronger than gear third? So okay.
Because of what Gear 4
So
does.
for
It's
so
speed, and
so for
power.
gear third or for gear fourth, rather, the rubbery elasticity of it. You're saying that is based on what?
That's based on, what do you mean?
So
what do you mean? What do you mean when Doflamingo
right.
kicks him and stuff? That's the Haki mixed with the rubber. That's
So
stated.
you don't think that's so you're saying that's not better than his gear third form? His gear third Haki.
It is better than his Gear 3rd form. For Gear 4th is better than Gear 3 and Gear 2.
Exactly. Why?
Right, but it's not. But the Haki is not stronger. It's just Gear 4th is stronger.
Wait, so you're saying the Haki is better? Because the Haki, no, because the Haki is different in gear fourth than it is in gear third.
No, it's not. Where's that shown?
The elasticity. He doesn't have that in gear third.
No, it's the same. Because when he's in Gear 4, he is using the Haki and mixing it with the rubber. He himself is doing that. He can't do that at the moment in Gear 2nd.
That's what I'm saying,
Theory.
So how can you say that gear fourth, the Haki isn't better if it's being mixed in with something? That's like saying gear second.
His usage of it is better, but the quality of it is not better.
Okay, so gear third is essentially concrete, right? But in gear fourth, he's using concrete plus like something else. So when you say the concrete plus something, you're saying we're using Haki and the rubber. They've become one in gear fourth, right? In gear third, it's just like just the Haki. So don't you think gear fourth, that Haki is of a higher caliber or a higher class than gear third?
No, it's the same. He's just mixing it with his fruit now, like how NL, for example, when NL's observation Haki works, right? His observation is just his observation Haki. Yeah. But now he can also mix it with his electrical fruit to hear people. His observation Haki is now not better. He's just using it better.
I think that's different because it's observation.
It's the same
Observation is
thing.
different. Because with NL, he's amplifying like the area of effect.
No, he's not. The area of effect is always the same.
What are you saying?
NL's observation Haki has a stated range that he can see all of the white sea, like with like Upper Yard and Angel Island, right? Him using his electricity fruit doesn't allow that. That's just his mastery of observation. All the electricity does is lets him hear what people are saying.
Doesn't that make it better? So you're saying,
no,
so theory.
No.
So you're saying with his fruit, right? He can see all of the white sea, right?
No. With his observation Haki, he can see all of the white sea.
So you're saying now with his fruit, he can hear.
He can hear what people are saying.
So theory. So you're saying without his observation Haki, he can see. So, but now with his observation Haki, he can now see and hear. Is that not better?
Wait, what? No. I'm saying when he sits there on a chair and he's not doing anything, he can't hear anything. He only hear what's in his vicinity like a normal human, right? He turns on his observation. Now he can see Upper Yard. He can see Angel Island. No, wait, no. Just his observation. He can see Upper Yard and Angel Island. Yeah? Any people that's how much he's good in that skill. Now he eats the electrical fruit. He eats it for the first time. And now he's mixing that with his observation. And all those people that he could see in Upper Yard and Angel Island, he can also hear them now because of the electromagnetic waves. That doesn't mean the observation Haki is better. His usage is better.
That's what I'm saying. With armament, it's different. It's different because we're talking about physical here. With observation,
but it's the same.
It's not the same.
It's the same. Mixing armament with rubber, like for example, if Luffy mixed the armament with elephant gun, right? He mixed it so that it's a rubbery Haki, yeah? The elephant gun would be the same. It's just now rubbery.
It's of a higher quality.
No, it's not.
It is.
Okay, but if you're gonna be like, if you want to be like definite, it is better because it's doing more stuff. Yes, but the damage output is the same.
I'm not sure about that. Because if
Why?
it's rubbery, say it could have an effect like look at Tankman, right? Where essentially Cracker got defeated
Uh-huh.
that way, where because it was rubbery, Cracker got sucked in, then sent out. If it wasn't rubbery, it's not working the same way. So then essentially that's better.
Right, but that's a very different. That's defensive. Give Elephant Gun is not. I'm just talking about Elephant Gun.
So I'm saying with it being rubbery, couldn't that absorb impact better?
What's that got to do with it doing more damage?
Because it's like if he's absorbing impact better, so that could kind of deter the impact that he's receiving, which it could increase his output essentially. Yeah. What
Why?
do you mean? So so
How does that work?
so you're hitting me, right? You're hitting me, and I have something
Uh
in
huh.
my arsenal which can basically limit or I guess lessen your output in my
Uh huh.
physical attack, right? Because it's rubbery,
Uh huh.
based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
But I still
Yeah. It's
right.
better.
But I'm still maintaining my same output,
Uh
but it
huh.
lessens yours. Is that
Uh
not
huh.
essential?
I understand. I understand
Right.
exactly what you're saying.
Is
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that doesn't happen. Kong Gun doesn't do that. Only his stomach and stuff do that with Tank Man and the Doflamingo kick. They're the only moments where we ever see he turns it like rubbery like that.
so you're saying he has the ability to turn it on and off?
Yeah. For
So
example, when he does the Kong Gun and we see the pretzel roll hit it, his hand doesn't concave inwards. It stays the same and smashes his sword apart.
essentially, yeah, but he does have the ability to turn it on and off, right?
If we're gonna now that we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
this and we're coming to these kind of conclusions, for now I'd have to say yeah.
Then I think it's hockey.
Or it's just different parts of his body. Maybe it's the density of certain areas of his body. Maybe his fist
Possibly,
is not the same as his
possibly, yeah,
stomach. But no. But anyway, we're getting away from the
yeah.
main bit, right? For example, I don't think like for example, let's just say there's only two types of
Yeah,
armament, just for this argument, so we can keep it
yeah,
easy. There's the black armament that we always see from Fisherman Island and stuff that we saw for the whole series, and then there's Katakuri's one, the Buso
yes,
Bugyo, right? And you can't have any others, not in between, no 1.5. There's only one or
yes.
two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think when Luffy goes from base to gear 4, he goes from 1 to 2. I still think he's in 1.
Mm. Uh, I don't know about that. So you're saying we're basically what separates Gear Fourth is momentum then?
Yeah, because as an example, on Thriller Bark, Jet Shell was a mix between Gear Second and Gear Third, where he just was incredibly fast, but he was just as strong as Gear 3, and that's how they defeated
Mm-hmm.
Moria, right? That to me, that's Gear 4, like as a form. Gear 4 is Gear Second, Gear Third, and plus the Haki, he's just overall a physical monster.
So you're saying his hockey isn't better in Gear Fourth, just the form is better.
No, the form itself is like if you like for example, if we when he runs out of Haki and we saw he did the giant pistol to Perispero's wall,
Yes,
right? Because we know he can still do those pre-time skip
yes.
techniques. If Luffy could go into Bounce Man and there's no Haki on it, Bounce Man is better than one of the non-Hakied up Kong guns is better than one of the whatchamacallit, the elephant gun, the giant pistols.
Based on the momentum that he has from the elasticity.
Just everything that when he shoves his hand in his
Right,
own
the
arm,
tensile like strength from that
that
the
stuff.
momentum.
Yeah, it's a huge, massive power, huge.
Mm,
I feel like though, as an
that's
example
hard
though,
because you're saying
go
like
ahead.
bounce man without hockey. It's like I'm hard. It's hard to picture that form even being maintained.
But that's okay then. For example, then we'll do it with, in canon. Then. One
Yeah.
Kong gun is better than one elephant gun. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but not forget the haki. Just
Mm-hmm.
physically, if they we would just look at it as physical, right? One Kong gun, is it better than Grizzly Magnum?
Is a Conga better than Grizzly Magnum?
Yes.
That's tough. I'd say so.
What?
I'd say so.
Oh no.
I'd say so.
This is why we're stuck. We have different
Wait, how strong
perceptions
do you
of,
think
of what's going on.
Magnum is? Do you think Grizzly Magnum could have broken? Wait, didn't he use Grizzly Magnum on Crackers biscuits?
No, just elephant gun.
That's the thing, but Elephant Gun did nothing.
Uh-huh. But Tracker also used a technique to stop it. He used the hard
He was
biscuit.
using hard biscuits regardless.
No, no, he uses like an actual like
Yeah, I mean he
technique.
strengthens them, but it's like it didn't do anything.
But no, but with the
But how much difference?
with the
How much difference is Grizzly
go
Magnum
on.
doing to Cracker though? You think do you
It could have broke a
you
shield.
think so?
Yeah, it's just like how the first Kong gun broke a shield, but not the soldier. It took two Kong guns to defeat one soldier.
Wait, he took two Kong guns.
Yeah, when Cracker was pinning him down,
Yeah, and then Luffy went gear
Luffy goes
fourth,
gear
and then
four.
it broke through the first soldier.
No, it broke the shield, sent the soldier flying. Then we cut the chapter because everyone was saying he got KO'd. Then we go to the next chapter, and that same soldier stands back up and goes in for a pretzel roll. And he does one more Kong gun, and then it destroys the soldier, and the real Cracker
Right, but then
comes out.
after that, Luffy's just running through the soldiers like it was nothing.
With Kong Organ, we don't know how strong that is.
Kong Organ is just more Kong punches.
No, it isn't. It's Kong Organ. It's a completely different technique.
Theory. So you're saying that Gatling isn't just a bunch of pistols?
No, it's better than
Is
that.
of course it's better because it's more.
No, no, just like singularly is better.
It's better
For
because
example,
it's more.
Luffy. No, 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 no. Luffy couldn't get through. Um, the Tekai, that Rob Lucci was doing, even with a jet
Right.
rifle. Yeah,
Right.
right. He does Gatling. It defeats it instantly.
So I guess let me ask you what do you think the mechanics of Gatling is in comparison to a pistol? What is the
Um,
difference?
um, hmm. Because if I was to try and explain it scientifically, I wouldn't be able to.
Right.
Because, like you're saying, he only has two
Mhm.
arms. How is he suddenly? How is his arm suddenly stronger?
I'm just thinking like with Gatling, he's pretty much just using pistols like numerous times.
But he has weird ones. For example, he has ones called he has a move called bullet, and he has a move called
Yeah.
pistol. What's the difference?
I think Bullet is more short distance, right? That's what it seems to be.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's what it seems to be.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like jet rifle is super strong. Like it's one of his strongest moves,
Yeah.
right? And same with jet bazooka. Yeah, none of those. He didn't use jet bazooka on Lucci, but none of those moves that he used on Lucci before could get past Lucci's Tech Eye, even in Gear 3, right? But then suddenly, all of a sudden, when Luffy's in his most weakened state after 3 Rakugans and stuff, his Jet Gatling defeats Rob Lucci's Tech
Yeah.
Eye. You can say, "Oh, ass pull," but it doesn't matter. It still happened.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just like it's just the repeated effect of multiple like pistols, or you can say bullets.
But it wasn't even the multiple pistols. The first hit won. It completely messed up his cheek.
Nah, so you said the first hit won. So you think after that first hit,
Yeah, like the first hit, his tech eye was broken. He didn't like tank. He didn't tank any single hit.
so at that point, I think whether he did a pistol or whatever, it would have worked. But again, you could reference
No,
no because it's like at that
no,
point with Gatling and jet pistol or bullet, they're basically just more of the same thing.
they're not.
But theory, you can't explain like the difference between.
For example, right? Grizzly Magnum.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would argue. Like, for example, Elephant Gun against the Noah. If Luffy did Elephant Gun, Elephant Gun, Elephant Gun, Elephant Gun, kept on doing Elephant Gun, like that again and again and again, he would not. He would not do as well against Noah. And the same with Grizzly Magnum. If he did Grizzly Magnum, Grizzly Magnum, Grizzly Magnum, spammed it, would not do as well against the Noah as he did with the Elephant Gatling.
Because that's the thing. Basically, Gatling gun. It's like it's just a bullet, but it's like it's in more in succession, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's the it's,
But I feel like they're just stronger on their own. Like if he just stopped at 1 and 2, they'd be stronger than the other respective attacks.
how
Don't know. It just happens.
like that. That I don't know. I don't know. That's no explanation for it.
Doesn't make sense, but that's what's happening.
I mean, but as far as rationalizing it, it has to be pistol just in multiple times.
Well, how is he breaking Tekai in one hit?
Because it's like I don't know. That goes back to that doesn't I don't know how he's doing that, but it's no explanation.
But that's what it's the same. It's the same. It's the same as Katakuri one, right? Because we'll go back. Then why aren't you saying I don't know to Luffy stopping the donut with Gear 3? Why can't it just be I don't know?
No,
Why does it have to be oh he's getting better?
it could be that, but that's not interesting.
But then why can't you just say he got better against Lucci?
He did get better against Lucci. I mean, that's clear.
No, from not being able to break his Tekai 10 minutes ago to being able to break his Tekai in one punch.
Okay, that's fair. He got better.
All right.
He got better. His hockey was blooming.
All right. No, just physical
His
strength.
blooming. But the thing is, no, but
all right, is
no,
hockey
the thing is, your hockey can bloom even when you're not using hockey.
Of course, yeah, we see what Blackbeard talking
Precisely.
about it and stuff like
You
that.
know, yo, I was rereading Jaya recently. Jaya's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
It's a really good arc.
Fantastic. Like the subtle like hints of the Blackbeard pirates just wandering around. That is amazing. Knowing what we know now.
Yep. They could have all died.
They all could have died. And just seeing it was funny when Bellamy walked in, right? And Blackbeard just looks at him and is like, whatever. Like, do you know who he just walked past you, bro? Like, and Bellamy walked in like he was like the shit. Like, say he had bumped into Blackbeard and he's like, yo, who are you? Like, do you imagine?
Blackbeard would have killed him, just like he did Sarkis.
Bro, exactly, bro. Blackbeard was just there chilling. And then even him, the parallels with him and Luffy, I plan to make a video about it. But I feel like it was just beautiful how Oda set it up. Like, just how much they're alike but different at the same time.
Yeah.
But Jai was fantastic.
I wanted to bring up something about that, actually, because a lot of people get that scene confused. Which is about, like, the whole, when Luffy and Zoro stare at him and they say, it's them, probably, you know?
Yeah.
Right? People go nuts with the whole chimera, always multiple personality. After what you just read, is it not clear that they're talking it's them, as in it's the Blackbeard Pirates, it's him and his crew?
His crew.
Yeah.
It's like they could sense that there were other people around there.
Well, they literally met all of them. They met Burgess. They met Doc Q.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they seen them. It's they're referencing all of them. It's clear. It's clear. That's why they were all like hinted and introduced pretty much before then. You know.
As a weekly reader, if we were stuck on that chapter, me and you would be like, oh, he's clearly talking about those other members, and then we would rewind to something like Drum Island and go, maybe they're the Blackbeard Pirates.
Yeah. I mean, but I understand like how people like sometimes you make a theory and it's you try to rationalize it and it makes so much sense as far as like how the person explained it. You're like, sounds pretty good. That could be legit, and then it kind of becomes fact, like the whole Jack King Queen theory, right? That's
I'm not a fan of that at the moment. I feel like too many people are on it.
Me neither. I'm like, knowing Oda, he's gonna throw a wrinkle in there. That's how Oda does it, where it's like, oh, Jack is like shit. Jack could be the fucking right hand, or then where it's like, then you have the king. He's maybe has a something where he's like he's super lazy, so then he kind of got demoted to like third commander or something. Where it's like we know they're probably pretty relatively close in strength, so they're interchangeable. And now I had another question as far as like based on what we're seeing from this arc, do you have a different view of the supernovas?
I do.
Because could Drake? I was saying last night on stream, before this arc, Drake being a calamity was laughable. It was laughable. It was like, are you serious? Do you see what Jack did? Like, Jack was a monster, a force. You couldn't overcome him. Now, after this arc, or how this arc seems to be progressing, could X Drake be a calamity?
He could be the one supernova to break that threshold, Like, he could be the component that went right.
Exactly.
You know
because
what I mean?
we all saying that X Drake is going to, defect and help the Straw Hats so that they can stand a chance against Kaido. What if he does then?
Well, here's the thing: is that like I feel like, for example, if we took any of the, let's say the even though they're relatively the same, any of the worst commanders from not Shanks' crew, because a lot of people get salty about hacking and stuff, but any of the Devil Fruit using Yonko crews, and we stuck the weakest commander, and we stuck them on a island and we put them up against any of the supernovas,
Yeah,
why is it a stretch to assume that they would all lose or all win? Sorry, they should all be able to defeat that tier.
they should. They should.
If Haruj can do it, Zoro can do it, Luffy can do it. Obviously there's matchups
Of
involved, but
course.
I feel like they're so relative. I don't see why they would lose.
Yeah, that's the thing where people are saying, "Oh, it's matchup based. All of them aren't." I get it. Matchups do matter, but relatively, as far as strength, they seem to be on the same level. Based on what like Oda put like the whole snack thing in a Rouge there to kind of say, "Hey, these guys, they're not that they've arrived, but let's start paying attention. Let's
Yeah.
start paying attention here, right?" And I think if
Hmm.
if
Yeah.
Luffy wins this Katakuri fight, which the story is hinting towards greatly that that's what's going to happen even after this last chapter. Now it's like, whoa. Like let's say the legends of Katakuri is true, and a lot of people know who Katakuri is. A lot of people knew who Doflamingo was, right? Say a lot of people,
Well, yeah, loads of people know who
right?
Katakuri is. Katakuri said it himself. He was like, if you ran away from me, no one would
Right,
laugh. People would know you ran away from
right.
me.
So Luffy beats Katakuri, right?
Hmm.
Imagine the news that okay, wait.
Yeah, big news.
This dude managed to defeat Doflamingo, one of the most, I think, as far as respect as a pirate or as like
He's the most dangerous warlord.
dangerous. Like Luffy would wait, he managed to infiltrate and defeat. He got to him, even though he had affiliations with Kaido. And now you're telling me that Luffy was the first one and the only one to put the legend that is Katakuri, the untouchable, on his back and defeat him? Wait a second. We at some point, right? Because Fujitora is already on Luffy's ass, apparently. I, I'm
Yeah.
like, at what point what does world government say? We can't let this go on anymore, right?
Well, they've been saying that they're not going to let
They've
it
been
go
saying
on
that,
since East
right? But
Blue.
then it's like looking at Luffy and how what he's accomplishing. Robin is becoming more of a threat.
But this is the thing is that the government, they don't really interfere with things because, quote unquote, the balance,
Correct.
which is why Fujitora is so angry, is because the admirals can't just go out of their way to do stuff like how Aokiji did. Like Aokiji going to visit
Yeah.
Luffy, yeah, and say, your crew's pretty scary. I better take you in right now, Luffy. Blah blah blah. He's not supposed to do that. They have to wait for orders to do stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like the Gorosei got angry and they're like, "Where is he gone? He can't just act on this on his own."
Yeah.
Blah.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah.
That's why Garb doesn't want to be an admiral because he wanted to hunt Roger all the time. If he was an admiral, he wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah. It does allow you more freedom if you can do stuff like that. Yeah, but it's like Luffy. I mean, he's making huge gains, bro. He's making huge gains, and it's like it's gonna cause a ripple effect once they realize like exactly what's happening.
I feel like Fuji is using it as an excuse. Me and Grim have talked about this, where he's not really hunting after Luffy and Law. He's using it as an excuse to just go do whatever he wants.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I think Fuji. He's just
Like you said I could go capture Luffy and Law, but you never said it was urgent and immediate.
right. I mean, this is just like it's giving himself a leash, or like just
Yeah,
more leeway, to just go around and just do.
I'll capture him in 10 years.
Yeah, it was like now wait, I don't have to come back. Okay, cool. I
Yeah,
don't have to I don't have to adhere to all the duties that you have assigned to me. Okay, cool. Bet.
yeah.
And
He just he Fujitora won Dressrosa. Like he played it so well.
it was risky, very risky, but it paid off. It definitely paid off for
Uh-huh.
him. Like I mean, everything Fujitora did, I respect it because a lot of people. There's only one other Marine pretty much who like had the moxie to do that.
Yeah.
As Smoker. Um,
Hmm.
and in Alabasta, it was interesting how Smoker viewed justice, and he told
Yeah.
Tashigi. She asked, "Yo, what should I do?" He said, "You'll figure out your own way of justice. You'll make the right
Yeah.
decision." Where Smoker's justice, I think, is predicated on character.
Yeah.
Where he's like, if you have good character, you're gonna make the right decision every time. So we
Yeah.
don't have to adhere to the justice passed down from the the bosses or the girls
Yeah,
say
distant. Yeah, exactly.
but if I have high character people with me, I can trust them to make the best decision every time. I don't have to tell you what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is like
yeah.
that's ideal. Like that's
Uh-huh.
almost that's perfect. Like that's who you want in power. Whereas like, yo, I'm not looking at like where they have like Aokiji and Kainu and Kizaru, where it's like, yo, you're lazy, whatever. Where it's like, no, I want your justice to be based on your character and what you feel is right. And I'm gonna support you. Because Smoker just left. Smoker left and was like, yo, you got it. Make the right
Yeah.
decision, which is like I think that's why Smoker's probably my favorite Marine.
Yeah, people sleep on him because obviously
Strength.
people get caught up in the whole
Strength.
fights and
Yeah.
strength and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean that's
but people don't understand that he is actually still very
yes.
strong. It's just he was up against Virgo, who is also very
But then
strong.
with Virgo in the anime, they completely exaggerated that fight.
Oh, but Smoker was
He
kicking
was
his
beating his
ass
ass.
in the but in the manga it makes Smoker look even better.
Exactly. In the
Like, yeah, it's crazy. But Virgo is slept on for the same
yeah.
reason. Oh, what? He got one shot by
Yes.
Law? Oh, dude, do you know who Law is?
Yeah, Law caught Smoker sleeping too. Law has a power that's completely just it it can annihilate you in one blow, like we saw.
This was an interesting discussion in your Discord the other day. I can't remember who was saying it. It was about when Law did the switch out of Luffy to do Gamma Knife,
Yeah.
yeah, and he landed
Mm-hmm.
it. He still had enough energy to do like one more move to hold up the room and do one more move, and it
Counter
was
shock,
counter
yeah.
shock. Yeah. Why didn't he use mess? He could have
Take his
won.
heart.
He could have won.
Okay. With counter shock. All right, let's use Burning Blood.
Yeah,
This is not an accurate representation whatsoever.
of course, but we'll go for it. We use game examples in your Discord all
Right.
the time.
So counter shock was like a regular special, right?
That's right. That's
Mess
right.
was the special.
It was the one. Yeah.
So how I rationalize that, because I think in One Piece you have to kind of rationalize things sometimes, so you don't, so the story doesn't upset you or you lose interest, whatever. I rationalize it where Mess, he didn't have the I guess the stamina able to use an attack like Mess.
Someone said the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's like, really? All it is shoving your hand in someone.
I mean, yeah, but it's like it's still taking someone's heart using a devil fruit. I mean, it looks easy. I mean, on its surface, it's like, yo, that's a simple attack, but like, it's like you're taking somebody's heart and encasing it in a fucking cube. I mean,
Yeah.
I get people saying that, yo, he could have taken Doflamingo right there, but that's how I ration.
Even his blade. Why not just cut him?
Uh, would it work? I mean, his hand did bleed when he grabbed his blade before.
But that's what I mean. It's like Doflamingo's down, struggling from Gamma
Yeah.
Knife. Now's your chance. Do a Kinemon on him.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to so many times where, like, when we talked about this, where like characters they have traits and like we have what we think characters should have done and they could have won easily, and then it's like they didn't do it. We talk about Crocodile all the time. How many times Crocodile could have? Come on, we know what Crocodile could.
Well, Crocodile did win, but
Yeah, but it's like I'm talking about.
that's the difference.
Yeah, he did win, and I guess he left Luffy for dead. I mean, that's true, but it's situational where like things happen for them to get away or for the fight to be prolonged.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference, though. I wanted to discuss is people get it mixed up. Is what people don't see in those is even though Luffy obviously makes it out, it's how he made it out. Crocodile beat Luffy, but every single time, other than the water falling from the sky, every other time he needed help from somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas, for example, with what's going on with Katakuri right now, everything he's currently doing is Luffy himself. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You could say, oh, well, Luffy is stronger and Katakuri's fighting a much stronger Luffy. Of course. But still, the fundamentals apply. His younger brother had to fight Luffy, and Luffy had help, and his own fruit was being nerfed. It's like, that situation to me is just so much more difficult than what Katakuri's going
Have you seen the
through.
anime version of that? The Cracker fight?
Oh, dude, they make him look disgusting.
I watched it recently because I'm trying to catch up to the anime because I want to
Yeah.
react to the cat.
They make him look like a god.
Reveal, right? So
Yeah.
Cracker, obviously, his techniques to harden his biscuits, whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Luffy does that, and Cracker made like 1,000 more biscuit soldiers right after. It was like he's like,
Uh-huh.
you got a lot more eating to do, buddy. We go forward, and Luffy literally say, "I'm at my limit," but then he keeps
That's
on
right.
eating, right? So, and even then, the anime definitely used that moment to kind of show that Cracker and his biscuits and just the amount of time they were fighting was taking its toll on his body.
Hmm.
Where Cracker got to a point where he's like, "Yo, are you serious?" And he's like, they showed him huffing, and then
But that's because he's running around
right,
and stuff. I think he could have clapped for 10 days.
So then they showed Luffy. It was he's like, "Yo, are you gonna stop running? What are you doing?" And he saw Tank Man, and he said how based
Mm.
on Tank Man's look and how he looked, I think Oda like kind of made the fight kind of jokey. He made it like he turned it into like a bunch of moments where it's like, okay, this is comedy here. Where Cracker looked at the form was like, oh no, like I understand more now in the anime. I mean, I got it in the manga and the anime. Cracker was like, okay, all I have to do is punch him in his stomach, and pretty much he's gonna throw up, and then he's gonna go back to normal. So Cracker thought like using that opportunity, I'm gonna jump in. This is light work. Even Nami, when she initially saw Cracker jumping in, she's like, oh shit. Because even she was looking at Luffy's form, was like, oh damn, I don't know how much more he can go. If he gets hit in his stomach, even Luffy said, yo, I don't want to throw up. Cracker
Uh-huh.
did it. Then Luffy, even in that form, managed to pull Cracker into, I guess, a dimension, and then spit Cracker out through his own. Bro, Cracker was flying so long in the
Hmm.
anime. I'm like, holy
Uh-huh.
shit! Like,
The Tank Man's super. When people are saying that Tank Man like is like the cannonball is comparable to KKG, do you see it? No.
that was crazy. How long Cracker was flying? I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? Like, he went into him, and this dude got sent
Yeah.
out. It was worse than Doflamingo when he first got hit by Gear Fourth. When
Yeah. It was horrible. He got sent, and Totland is well, not Totland. Whole Cake is a massive
yeah,
island. He got sent very very far through many different obstacles. And for someone that doesn't like
that's
pain,
like
do you see why that would be
repeated.
like a one
I
shot?
understand. The anime makes it visually a lot more clear, a lot more
The
clearer.
manga does too. It's just they're very small panels, so people
Right,
don't care.
with the anime, it's like it's right in your face. Like this is the distance travel. It's like sometimes I don't like to reference the anime because sometimes they botch it. They do, but I feel like this was an
Yeah,
accurate representation for sure.
it was accurate. I can
It
vouch
was
for it.
accurate representation. But I'm definitely enjoying and loving the anime right now.
Oh, someone needs to give the current director and his team a medal because they have completely changed it to the point where the anime is
It's
better than the
it's
manga
great.
again.
Like looking at the like I think I tweeted about it. Big Mom's voice actor,
Yeah, she's really good.
marvelous. Like she's so good. Like in her playful moments, how much her voice changes. But she sounds like a little
Hmm.
girl, you know. And then
Hmm.
when she gets mad, I'm like, holy shit, this
Hmm.
woman is scary.
She reminds me of a Disney villain as well.
Yes. When she's walking around, like when Chopper they were in the mirror world, they see Big Mom walking. She's like a fucking giant just walking around the town. I'm like, holy shit,
Hmm.
man. Like it's just portrayed really well in the anime. Where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I can't wait for the wedding. I can't wait for
The wedding
oh
is gonna
my
be the wedding's
god.
gonna be really good, especially with all the filled-in scenes that
Oh
they're
my
gonna do with like
god.
when people are like Pedro
Yes.
off-screened
The
oven,
oven
that's gonna
and
be great.
the Daifuku stuff and then it's
Yeah.
gonna be fantastic. I really can't wait to catch up. I really can't wait to catch up, bro. Wait,
I think that's what we can look forward to in the future because I feel like
yeah.
Wano manga is going to be good, of course, just how Whole Cake
Yeah.
is good. But weekly, it's going to be a nightmare.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because bro, look at all the characters they're hinting that's gonna be there, right? Like the Marco, the Supernovas,
Yeah,
all these people. We're gonna have a clusterfuck again, where Oda's gonna jump around. We're gonna have things that's more
yeah,
interesting than the other, but we're not gonna focus on
yeah,
those things. We're gonna go away and come back. Oh shit, it's progressing. It's progressing. Like we're probably gonna have a Zoro fight that's
yeah.
gonna be happening. Go away from that. Go to where Sanji is. Go to where Drake is. Go to where Apu. It's gonna be a bunch of shit that's going on where it's like, yo, I want us to focus on what, but this is Oda's style. That's what he does. This is how he builds
Hmm.
the climax. You see this one thing happening. Oh, shit is happening over here. Well, I wonder what's happening over there. You know?
That's what I mean. It's like but we can look forward. What I'm trying to say is like, even though that's going to
Yeah.
happen, we can now, unlike Dressrosa, look forward to seeing the anime adaptation and go, this is now I can relive
Yeah,
those scenes that when I was reading it weekly I didn't really want to I didn't
yeah,
really
I can
care
enjoy
about.
it. I can enjoy it. That's why, like, um,
Like even Luffy when he jumps out the window. I don't know if you've got to that part yet. When Luffy meets Reiju and then he jumps out the
nah,
window to go meet
I'm not
Sanji
there
on the
yet.
hill.
I'm not there yet.
Okay, like they're adding like those and like what Luffy went through to even get to the hill.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's where I sometimes I wish the anime, like, because with Hunter x Hunter, right, for the anime, um, it's not that many scenes in Hunter x Hunter where you can say that's not canon. As far as the
No.
adaptation of it, it's pretty much,
Yeah.
what the source material is.
Yeah.
Where I wish that was One Piece, where it's like, okay, they adapt it so well, where it's like when they add scenes, you don't question it because of how much they've built up their credibility. Where now
Yeah. The thing is, that's what's going on. I think like this arc, it's all in canon filler. Like the
yeah,
stuff, the filler that is
yeah,
happening is real.
right,
That happened
exactly.
because there's only a few things. Like if it contradicts the manga, then obviously that didn't happen. Like with the Cracker fight, as an example, this is the only one I
The
can
King Kong
think
gun.
of. Is no, that's all perfectly fine. That
Mm-hmm.
happened, right? No, let's just say that
Mm-hmm.
happened. Okay, it's the bit where Cracker sees Tank Man. Okay, in the manga, he uses the honey pretzel, and that's the only move he uses, and then he gets stuck in the
Yeah,
Tank Man. Yeah. In the anime, he uses honey pretzel the same way, but it bounces off. So it's already different now. It bounces off. It doesn't even go in him. It bounces off. Does
the
zero
first time.
damage. Okay, the first time, and then he uses a entirely new, invented and created move by the anime where his sword goes all glowy called Crash Pretzel, and that's what gets stuck in Luffy. That's a big
That's huge.
difference.
That is huge. That was crazy.
But that's only one. Everything else, like the Brook versus Big Mom, that happened, and how they explained what happened with like Prometheus getting cut by Brook. That's how it
Yeah,
happened. You know,
yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying the anime. I really am.
it's
It's
really
really
good.
dope.
I was gonna say something about the Katakuri thing though, with this chapter.
Yeah.
How obviously you have an affiliation to for whatever reason you have a not a bias, but you like the character, so you make
Yeah.
excuses.
I do
That's
like the
fine.
character. Yeah, because it's like an interesting
That's
parallel.
I like the characters, but I have to speak from like the the
Yeah.
objective area where it's like, can you not see that like this guy is not put like just against everyone else like Ichiji against all sorts of people he's doing so
He
good,
dominated
but
everyone else.
just Luffy, just not Sanji, but just Luffy,
But you talking about the jelly bean?
he's not doing good.
I mean,
Yeah,
so you're
just
like
Luffy,
not
he's not
Sanji, the
doing good,
jelly
right?
bean.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I hear you. I hear you.
But it's like you know what I mean. But what I'm trying to get at is this chapter. I don't know if you noticed, but Flambe shot Luffy,
Oh yeah,
and that is the only reason. That's the only reason why Cat even landed a hit with
which
the
I didn't.
trident. He
Yeah,
couldn't do it
exactly. And I
before.
didn't. I don't like why where Oda felt like that was necessary because if you're gonna have Katakuri hit Luffy anyway, why was Flampe wasn't needed? But I get where.
Yes,
No, no,
but
no.
she is like.
I
Go on.
what I'm saying is like this is Oda again using I guess characters where Oda's like, yo, I need to show my characters. So I'm gonna write Flampe into the story. She has to have a purpose here. And Flampe's purpose was to I guess catch Luffy off guard so Cat can get a blow in. Right?
Yeah,
Where based on what we've seen from Katakuri, he should have already been doing this.
he should have
Right?
been.
But
Yeah,
I agree with you where it's like based on what we've seen in this fight so far, she was absolutely necessary based on what Oda is setting this up to be. I agree there.
yeah.
But based on his arsenal and what was displayed, she should not have been needed.
She shouldn't have been needed. No.
Where it's like, why? We don't have to go all the way out there to do that. But yesterday we were discussing as far as like that final scene is Luffy seeing the future.
Some people think so. I don't think so. I think it actually happened. But if it is, then I'm okay with that as
Yo,
well.
we feel the exact same way because when I read the chapter, I thought that because people talking about the upper right panel where it goes blurry, what I'm thinking is like Luffy did dodge to the right. He
Yeah,
dodged a bit, That's why it didn't hit him in his chest. That's why it hit his
Yep.
side. That's how I read it and interpreted it right away. And
Hmm.
that's why Luffy's like, yo, deep regret, whatever. But people saying Luffy saw the future, blah blah blah. This is what's gonna happen. Where it's like, regardless of what happens, it's interesting either way. Either way, it's
Luffy,
interesting.
the thing is, it would be something very new
Yes.
because observation haki can't do that, where you can see what's going to happen to you.
What do you mean?
You can see what someone's about to do, but there's never been a moment where you see the damage that happens to you. So, for example, if Luffy was like, let's say this scene happened,
Yeah.
okay, the same way, but instead Katakuri rips Luffy's head off. Did Luffy just experience death via the future?
Wait. Let's go back to the Mihawk thing.
That I don't think that's observation haki. That was just Luffy using his brain.
But do you think, okay, so in Dragon Ball, like they do things in Dragon Ball, like using Dragon Ball as reference, what the fuck? But in Dragon Ball, they had where Goku used Ultra Instinct, right? Dragon Ball.
I've not seen it, but yeah, go on.
Okay. They had a moment in like the Battle of Gods arc, Battle of Gods, like early in the story, where Whis, which is Goku's pretty much his trainer, his angel, tells him like there's a higher level that can be achieved if you stop thinking when
Hmm.
fighting. While it was
Yeah.
like a loose, vague statement, that was referenced again to kind of explain what happened to Goku, where he stopped thinking and he achieved this unbelievable level of power. That's what they use,
Hmm.
where it's like, okay, I guess so. Where it's like, if Oda referenced that, would that be bad? And said, oh, that's what was doing. That Luffy thinks back to that moment. Where Luffy's like, oh, that's what happened then.
If he does that, no, it's not
Okay,
bad because it means
okay,
he made it
yeah,
make
because I
sense.
think that would be great.
But as
I think
of
that'd be great.
I'll be totally
Yeah,
for it
yeah,
because right now, someone like me that is only going to use what we've been
yeah,
told and
yes,
shown, I will not say that what happened in that
yeah,
Mihawk scene is observation
yeah.
haki until I get told that it is,
That's
because
fair.
it's the only moment in this story so far where that has
Yes,
happened, where someone has gone, I'm going to throw an attack, then a guy reacts to that attack, and I can see the consequence of them reacting to my attack.
that is kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy, but I'm interested in the progression of the story. Also, last in the predictions, I said we would go back to Oven, and we went back to Oven. That was kind of exciting. Um,
Yeah, people need to stop sleeping on these quote unquote
yeah,
monsters of the Big
yeah.
Mom crew. They're like, oh, Capone shot him.
He's
He got ran over by
fine.
a ship.
He's fine. That did nothing. He didn't freaking like heat up the whole ocean. Come on. Like, first off, like if Luffy walks out of there with this hole at the side of his chest, of his body, I don't know how he's
Yeah.
getting away from there. He's not beating all those guys after all that.
Well, that's what I've been trying to tell people. That's what I've been trying to say. Is like the people a few weeks ago didn't even know because they didn't read it. They just look at the pictures. Is we were even going to meet up at Coco Island at 1 in the morning. We've been told so
Yeah,
many
Coco Island
times
was
that they're waiting
yeah,
for us. They're
yeah,
waiting for us
yeah,
there, and that's where the final battle is going
yeah.
to
It
be.
happened. They were referenced a bunch of times with the Brule stuff. Even after that, it's
Yeah.
like they are saying Cacao Island like the longest. So that was going to be the final place, for everything to happen. So
It bugs me every time this stuff because it's going to happen in 1 again. There's going to be like a
mm,
scenario where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to some
yeah,
temple or
yeah,
something, and we need to do some crazy dragon ritual or
yeah,
something, right?" And people will forget about it, and they'll be like, "Kaido, Kaido, Kaido,
mm,
Kaido." And then when we finally are defeating Kaido and this quote unquote dragon ritual or something is
yeah,
necessary, they'll be like, "Oh, that makes so much
yeah.
sense."
It
But
was
you knew
yeah.
about
We
it
we knew
months
about it. We
ago.
just forgot. You just forgot. Yeah. So I mean, with this chapter though, I really enjoyed it. Like I thought it was fantastic. I
Yeah, it
didn't
was good.
have too many problems with like the Luffy Katakuri thing.
What do you think about Pedro? The whole Brook lying.
I think they opened it up for Pedro to be alive in some way. I think,
I don't
but I
agree.
think what Brooke was lying was to protect Sanji, or to like yeah
Yeah.
that where it's like you don't want Sanji to feel that guilt right away. You need him.
Um, I think it's a smaller build up. You know how everyone's been waiting for Sandy to explode?
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
I
it's
like
gonna. I
that.
think it's
I
for
like
that.
that. But what I was thinking, like, so either they open up for Pedro to be alive, or either they're setting it up for an amazing reveal of, because you know when Luffy when One Piece plays that sad music, right? Where Sanji's
Yeah.
like, oh, where's Pedro? Like, is he still sleeping? And they're like, Sanji, we lied. Pedro's dead. He died to let us escape, get away from him. And it's like, because they lied, you're setting up for like those feelings to just, like you said, come to the surface. So it could go either way, but I initially I was like, yo, they're protecting Sanji and his feelings at the time.
Where's the Vin Smokes?
They're about to fight a fleet. Who they even referenced this past chapter, like, yo, if we fight this whole fleet, we would lose. And we know the Vinsmoke, they have an entire army with them. So I expect them to show up within the next 2 or 3 chapters.
Do you think that the fanboy prophecy of Big Mom going down this arc, other than Cake, like physically going down, is going to come true?
No.
Oh,
No.
good.
I don't think. I mean, Bruno Dustin said the Luffy solo is Big Mom thing. I think at this point, with how Luffy's beat up, I there's no way we can think that could happen anymore.
Not even Dustin, just anyone.
I
Just
mean, yeah.
anyone, like even like a team kill, or a team
No,
KO.
no. The assassin thing, that would be dope. I'm not gonna lie. If Capone, like after Big Mom's knocked out, then Capone figures out a way to, it would kind of be, where it's kind of underhanded and kind of dark, where Yonko gets taken out that way. But it would change the story dramatically.
Hmm.
Which I'm always for. I'm always for shaking things up a bit. Like when we get the payback war was revealed, I'm like,